Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Phases of Growth podcast. I'm your host, Brittany Rose, and today's episode is actually different from what I had originally planned. When I realized that the next episode for the podcast was scheduled for the 20th, which is Martin Luther King Jr. Day and Inauguration Day, I felt very strongly guided by spirit to kind of shift course and have a different conversation with you all today. So, if you are like me, you may have grown up in a family where you were told we don't talk about politics, we don't talk about money, we don't talk about religion. And I understand that to the extent of people don't want to get into arguments, they want to kind of shy away from anything that could be controversial. And there's some people who very much live by that, like me, unfortunately. In some ways, I have shied away from talking about politics with people outside of my very close circle because I don't want to get into arguments with people. I don't want to try to convince people to change their belief system. But I don't know that that actually serves us by not having these conversations. And so I'm not here to try to change anybody's belief systems. I am here to share with you what I believe about politics and how I see politics not as much about specific policies and, what taxes people should be paying, et cetera. Like, obviously, that is part of politics. But to me, politics speaks to my values, my morality as a person. And so I know that the people on the left who are left leaning in this country are very upset about the outcome of the presidential election. I am one of those people and was in mourning after the election because I just couldn't believe that Donald Trump had been elected again. And so I've had to do a lot of work since then to not sink into fear, to not sink into anger, to not sink into um, complacency, I guess, and to look at what is happening in our world and see it as I see all challenges in my own personal life. This is happening for our collective growth and evolution. And you might not believe that, and that's okay. So if anything that I'm saying today is triggering, obviously you don't have to listen to this, and that's fine. My goal today is not to create more division. My goal today is to talk about how we as a people can come together and transmute fear so that we're raising the collective vibration to that of love. To me, politics represents what I value as a person. And so, what I value as a person is human rights, dignity, equity for all, for people to be taken care of and supported in their time of need, for people to be able to express who they are without judgment, without retribution, without being harmed in any way, for people to be able to love who they love and marry who they want to marry. To me, my politics are about freedom of expression, freedom to live in a way that is authentic for you. It is about supporting those who are vulnerable. It's about helping. It's about protecting our planet, or not even protecting our planet. Our planet doesn't need our protection. Our planet needs our love and our us to honor it, to take care of it. So that is what my politics are about to me. And I am not here to say the Democrats are perfect. They are not by any stretch of the imagination. There's no perfect party, there's no perfect policies, right? But I do feel like I'm more left leaning because they are more aligned with what I believe in. Not perfectly, but more aligned. I value love. I value peace. I value justice and generosity. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are stuck in fear of other, fear of people they don't understand, of identities that they don't understand, of religions that they don't understand, fear that somebody is going to take something from them, right? And that is what I think that we as a people need to come together and release this fear and see how that we create our own realities by the stories that we tell ourselves, how that we, through the energy of love, can transmute the energy of fear, the energy of racism, of any kind of prejudice, of judgment, because that's what it is. We're judging what we don't understand or what feels different from us. And the way that I try to live my life is in a do no harm, do no harm to myself, do no harm to others. And obviously, none of us are going to be completely perfect at that. But at the end of the day, can we say, I tried my best? I was open and loving and generous and kind and compassionate towards others. That is what this world needs more of. We don't need more anger. We don't need more hatred. We don't need more prejudice. And that goes for people on the left, right? I'm not just speaking to the people on the right. I'm talking to the people on the left too, who are approaching the next administration. And rightly so. I understand the anger. So I'm not telling you not to feel the anger. I'm telling you not to act out of anger. That's what I believe. These policies, Project 2025, they are abhorrent. We should be fighting against them. I don't know that the way that we fight against them is through more anger and more division. So I'm the type of person who, if I'm in a disagreement with somebody, after I feel my feelings, allow them come to the surface, release whatever anger I'm holding on to, I come back to my core essence, which is love, and I send that person love. I send that person love for their highest good, for their highest evolution, right? Because if I send that person energetically more anger, that is what they will receive. And what hope can somebody have of changing in the energy of anger and hatred and resentment and judgment and bigotry? Nobody can change like that. Love is the answer to all questions. Love can transmute darker, denser, fear-based energies. That's the only thing that can do it. I truly believe that. So where I'm at with all of this is I refuse to go through the next 4 years living in fear and living in anger. I believe that this is a moment in time that is calling upon people to rise up, to become light workers, and to work to change the collective energy so that when one person heals, we all heal. And I do truly believe that. Like, if I work on myself and becoming a more authentically aligned person, that has ripple effects. And I've seen it in my own life. I've seen other people transform because of the work that I'm doing, right? We all are interconnected. We all can influence each other. So I believe it starts within, working on staying centered in our loving presence. And then we can share that love with other people and help them to rise above the fear. And so that they can see through the illusions that are out there. The more that we are aligned with love, the more truth that can come to the surface and people can see what the actual reality is. Fear is our greatest teacher. It will always be present in this realm, and it will always show up in new and different ways for us to learn. But we as a collective can transcend. We can exist in a higher vibration. We can have more peace and harmony and positive things happening in the world. because the core of every human being, whether it looks like it or not, is eternal love and infinite light. So my mission is to work on myself so that I am embodying my core essence and to share this with other people so that they too can embody this core essence, and then they can spread it to the people that are in their lives or anybody that they come in contact with. The more we heal individually, the more the collective heals. So I'm here to say to you, please spread your light. Don't give your energy to fear. Give it to love, to truth, to action, to forgiveness, and sometimes surrendering to what is happening. And that does not mean giving up. That means accepting. So I'm a person who had to accept that the reality was Donald Trump was going to be the next president of the United States. Right? I can't fight against that as much as my humanness wanted to just sit in the anger and the resentment of that. Right? I had to move beyond that, surrender that this is the reality, and then look for what's next. How do I get through the next 4 years? How do I not sink into a deep depression? And part of that is paying attention, but only paying attention in a way that is healthy for you. I cannot be watching the news 24/7. I can't listen to political commentators 24/7. I do want to stay informed, but so that I can send loving energy to the things, to the people that I care about. So hopefully this made sense and spoke to you if you're still listening to this. Me rambling about how we transmute fear into love. But I do really believe this. I believe that this is part of my mission in life. I believe that it is pretty much everybody's mission in life is how do we get out of ego fear and move into a place of higher consciousness. So if you're listening to this on January 20th, 2025, tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm holding an event over Zoom. You can get that information from my Facebook page, but what I'm doing is a guided energy healing where we're doing exactly what I've been talking about today. We are transmuting fear and expanding love into the collective. If you're not able to join live, I will be posting this on my YouTube channel, which is Phases of Growth. That link will be in the show notes. So if this has spoken to you today, I highly encourage you to check out that guided meditation, because the more that we engage with it, the more we will be transmuting fear and sharing more love into the collective. So every single time that somebody goes through that guided meditation, there will be a healing process for this entire realm. So I do encourage you to check that out. So that is all I have for you today. I hope this spoke to you. Be good to yourself, be good to others, and just know that we're going to be okay. We're going to get through this. We are more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. We can change things. It might not feel like it. It might not seem like it, right? Because what can little old me do to change policies and hold, these people in charge accountable? But I do believe that through our thoughts, through our actions, through our emotions, through our visualizations, through our intentions, we do have power to shift things in this reality. So think about, how do you want to shift it? Where do you want to place your energy? How do you want to get through the next 4 years? So I will leave you with that. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you soon.